All right, we thank you for joining us on the program tonight. Our sign language interpreter is William Silla. We want to start here in Kenya. And over that teachers' pay saga, the Supreme Court today heard the case by teachers who are seeking to block the 50 to 60% pay rise directive issued by the industrial court. That's by the Teacher Service Commission. But the lawyers who are representing the teachers' unions sought to have the entire case dismissed, protesting that in his statement the president had already passed a verdict on the case. The heated session also saw the lawyers arguing that the executive is influencing both the courts and the Salaries and Remuneration Commission's decisions on the matter. Sharon Mamanyi begins our bulletin with that report.
It is a classic replay of the usual tussle between the proletariat and the owners of capital.
For close to 3 hours, the court was in heated session. What started as a simple court procedure following TSC's appeal on industrial court's award to teachers mutated to the president's speech and its impact on the independence of the judiciary.
When people, whether it is the president or anybody, comments about a case in court and addresses the court, no matter who he is, the court must express its outrage against such conduct. That's the point I'm making, and that is, I think, reasonable. Nobody has a right, whether it's the chief executive or a clerk, to comment about it.
There is another thing to say, the president has influenced.
If my learned friend will have apologized, I don't think I will have commented on that. But he didn't, for his client.
Well, I think he should have commented. Maybe he has forgotten. David McCallum's case became one of the most notorious cases ever decided by this court.
The 9-bench case.
Because they tried to do exactly what they are urging you to do. Instead of allowing contempt proceedings to proceed in the court that they were, they invited the Court of Appeal in 7 judges to sit. So maybe he would take time to read it over the weekend.
Other than the appeal by the TSC, the court allowed both councils to file other applications with the unions calling for the court to dismiss the entire case by TSC. This, they argued that TSC had already appealed the industrial court award to teachers in the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal had ruled that TSC implement the directed payments while they await the judgment on their appeal. This they did not do, add to the defiance of the industrial court's directive, and it is defiance twice. The teachers want the entire case dismissed based on what they argue to be TSC's contempt of court. The unions pulled a new card, stating that they wanted to consider the impact of the president's speech in relation to that ruling and whether they would consider pulling out of the case or have a bench of 5 to 7 judges constituted to hear the case.
We reluctantly allow the application for adjournment.
The court ruled to adjourn the case to September 29th when it would rule on the applications. However, both the court and the Salaries and Remuneration Commission chair, Sarah Serem, maintained that they are not puppets of the executive.
The judiciary is very, very independent, and we judges will stick to our oath of office.
SRC was given birth to by the Constitution. And besides the mandate, there is an absolute independence. We are not subject to any authority, not even the parliamentarians, not even the executive. It is extremely important for you to know that the commissions that were set are independent.
Meanwhile, the Kenya Alliance for Advancement of Children's Rights held a dialogue with children and members of the child rights in Nairobi Tuesday. They want the government to postpone national examinations for Class 8 and Form 4 students, citing that students are not ready to sit for the examinations.
We all know that school is a place for where children actually feel safe. It's their center of protection. And now that they are not there, many things are happening out there. You've had yourself inside there. Others saying there's a lot of early pregnancies that are coming up.
We are simply asking the government to be able to ensure that they either consult with the education consultant or education advisor of the president, or if there's an advisor on children, let the government be able to work with that person to be able to give direction.
The teacher strike is now on its 4th week, with public schools still closed indefinitely. Sharon Momanyi, KTN News.